good of all with harm to none, according to the free will of all.
Which is the beautiful thing about this religion. It's not set in any specific stone.
So I am proud to say that I am pagan.
In the cold of the evening, they used to gather 'neath the stars in the meadow, circled near an old oak tree. At the times appointed by the seasons of the earth and the phases of her moon. In the center often stood a woman, equal with the others, respected for her worth. One of the many they call the witches, the healers, the teachers of the wisdom of the earth.
We respect the earth. We use the earth to honor the god and goddess.
The spirits being in everything, the taking care of the earth part of it.
And all of those things help me structure my choices so that I think I make better choices, more responsible choices.
There were those who came to power through domination. They were bonded in their worship of a dead man on a cross. They sought control of the common people by demanding allegiance to the Church of Rome. And the Pope, he commenced the Inquisition. It was a war against the women whose powers they feared. In this Holocaust, in this age of evil, 9 million European women, they died.
I'm not sure I could say how many people were persecuted or killed during that time period. I'm not sure anybody knows.
Thousands and millions of people.
But it was thousands at least.
I remember hearing at one point that most of the women in one German community were killed in the process.
You have to really look at who was the person in charge of doing the hunt.
Men are the ones in power. Women have no rights.
I know that the majority of the people that were killed were women.
So a lot of women were persecuted just based on the fact that they were strong women, and they were going to be strong women, and well, that's one way to stop a person from being strong, is to eliminate them.
Yeah, women, if they are out of line, then there's a demon in them, and they are talking with the devil, and the devil is what's giving them their power to think that they have the right to speak.
Women had no power.
Women were dying to be free.
Yeah, I feel that the witch hunts were a lot of the patriarchal society against women being strong.
I think definitely patriarchy had a lot to do with this because those were the men who were in control. Those were the ones who had control of the judicial system, the political system. They were the ones who made the laws and enforced the laws.
Men saying, this is a woman that is not acting her place. And so because she's not acting her place, there's a demon or there's a devil that's in her that is making her act, and we need to get rid of it, or we need to burn her because she's a witch.
And so that's where they would thought people were worshiping the devil. So.
It wasn't so much what the women were doing, it was they were perceived as threats for power that they were perceived to have. They didn't necessarily have the power.
The typical one, we hear of all the time, is a midwife.
Some of them were people that were herbalists and healers, and some of them had nothing to do with it, and they just made the wrong person mad.
The men were the ones in power. The men were the ones who wanted to get rid of the threats, who wanted to get rid of the extra mouths to feed.
I would assume that poor older women were targeted.
The fringe dwellers, those people who lived on the edges of the culture.
Probably mostly poor. I mean, the rich could probably fight against it. So even if they were brought into the trial, money talks.
They may have been older, impoverished, little education, may have been mentally or physically challenged, they may have been homosexual. For one reason or another, they didn't fit the standard pattern of what the culture was emphasizing.
What easier way to get rid of somebody that wasn't the way they felt they should be is, oh my gosh, that person's a witch.
They probably looked the scariest. They had no use anymore in society, so they could be targeted really easy.
These people weren't doing anything horrible as much as they were being a drain on the culture.
And just were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes, I do feel that the witch hunts do have a significant impact on how some pagans do feel. They don't want to go back to that time. There are people that are really afraid of that being able to happen.
They don't want to lose their job or, have anything negative happen to them because this is my religion.
I feel a lot of people stay in hiding because they are afraid, and for those reasons of, losing their job, losing their house.
Especially living in Kansas, we're in the Bible Belt, and we've got a lot of Christian people that when they hear Wicca or, hear witch, then they automatically think you worship Satan, and I don't believe in Satan.
She gives us the vision to see through the chaos. She gives us the courage. It is our will to survive. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. 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 Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter,